Kim Kardashian is one of America's most popular celebrities, and her makeup has become really famous. Today, we're going to do Kim Kardashian's makeup together. Stay with me. Hi girls, I'm super excited. Today we're going to do Kim Kardashian's makeup together. I'm going to teach you this makeup look from start to finish. Before we start the makeup, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe right now because you're going to learn lots of amazing tutorials with me. So let's get started. Before we start applying makeup, we should always cleanse our skin with a micellar water or a cleanser that suits our skin type. If you have oily skin, use a gentle cleanser that specifically contains niacinamide or salicylic acid. I want to use good quality micellar water and thoroughly cleanse my entire face with a soft cotton pad, ensuring complete removal of impurities. After we've thoroughly cleansed our skin with a cleanser, now it's time for deep hydration. For hydration, we should first use a hydrating spray and immediately after that, apply a hydrating cream. This way, the hydrating cream will be absorbed much better and more precisely into our skin and reach the deeper layers. I want to use this Aven hydrating spray, which provides excellent hydration and high oxygenation. It's amazing. While the spray or oxygenating mist is still on my skin, now we need to use a hydrating or moisturizing cream so that all this moisture is fully absorbed by us. I want to use the Estée Labs moisturizing cream and apply it all over my face. Now it's time to use the Glam Underbase. The Glam Underbase, thanks to its golden particles, is incredibly well absorbed by the skin, allowing the product to be fully absorbed and even starting to minimize pores. When we apply all the hydrating products to the skin, it's better to wait 1 to 2 minutes so they are fully absorbed by the skin, because if you apply the products one after another, it will give you a cakey look and your work won't turn out nicely. Pause for 1 to 2 minutes at each step so the products are fully absorbed into your skin, and then move on to applying the next material. Now the hydrating products have been absorbed into my skin, and I want to use a primer to get rid of these small pores on my face. I'm using the Benefit Primer because it has really good coverage and makes my skin smooth and velvety. If you pay attention, in this picture, Kim Kardashian has shiny and glowing skin. In other words, her skin isn't matte. So we're going to create shiny, glowing skin. To make our skin shiny, we need to mix a liquid highlighter into our foundation and use a cream that has an oil-based formula. Of course, if you have oily skin, you should definitely use a cream with an alcohol and water base. But if you want your skin to be shiny, make sure to add a liquid highlighter to your cream. I'm going to create my base using a combination of Smashbox foundation and MAC liquid highlighter. By mixing these two creams, I want to create shiny and glowing skin. Let's see how it turns out. I pour a bit of the Smashbox foundation onto my hand. Then I carefully add the MAC liquid highlighter to it, applying it gently. I mix in the same amount of liquid highlighter as the foundation I used, combining them in equal parts. Now I mix them together with a brush. I want to have bronzed and shiny skin. Now I start blending and gently lifting the foundation with a soft, damp blender.
color is great. I fell in love with the color.
As you can see right now, my skin has this beautiful bronzed, shiny, glowy look, and I absolutely love it. Now we're going to move on to the next step, using concealer. The concealer I want to use under my eyes should be at most 1 shade lighter than my skin tone. Don't suddenly use a really light concealer on dark skin and end up looking terrible. I'm going to use the Fair & Cosmetic concealer in the shade Almond because it has an amazing quality. It's very lightweight. If you have fine lines under your eyes or if you're a bit older, it's better to use concealers with a very light texture. Don't use Tarte because Tarte has a heavy texture and isn't suitable for people with under eye lines or those who are older. Definitely use a lightweight concealer like Fair & Cosmetic, like Too Faced. Now I start blending it with a micro blender. But before I blend it, I let it sit for a little bit. I give it some time to set in a bit, because if you start blending right after applying the concealer, all the product will get absorbed by your blender. But if you let it sit for a little while, you'll get better coverage and the excess product won't get absorbed by your blender. Alright, let's move on to contouring our face, which is really important. Contouring can give our face a real shape, and it can make our face look slimmer or fuller, more sculpted, or any shape we like. I want to make my face look more sculpted, like Kim Kardashian, and turn my face into a model-like shape. I want to use the Bobbi Brown Stick Contour. It's shade C084, which has an incredibly matte color. It has a caramel tone, and it's amazing. It's that easy to do a professional contour. Now let's start with a brush specifically for blending. We blend this in with a tapping motion. Never drag it across your skin because that will cause the foundation underneath to bunch up and ruin your work. For nose contouring, I want to make my nose look like a doll's and give it an upturned shape. If your nose has a curve and is naturally upturned or droopy, the method I'm about to show you is perfect for you. To make my nose look longer and more elongated, I continue my contour and bring it up under the eyebrow, then blend it out. This technique makes your nose appear much longer and more elongated. Now start blending around your contour with a micro blender. You need to do this very carefully because if you make a mistake, you might make your nose look wider or completely blend out your contour, making it look like you didn't do any contouring at all. The more concentrated the highlight is in the center of your nose bridge, the smaller and more natural your nose will look. Now I tap with my finger, and with the warmth of my hand, I blend away any lines or marks left on my nose. To make my nose look more noticeably upturned, I want to use a bit of shimmering reflective product and carefully apply it to the very tip and also along the bridge of my nose. So that my face looks a bit more lively and fresh, I really want to use just a little bit of that lovely liquid blush on my cheeks right here. And now I start blending it with a blender to even it out with my contour. Since in this picture Kim Kardashian has shiny skin, we want our skin to stay truly shiny as well. So we won't use setting powder. Instead, we'll use setting spray. Whenever you want your skin to have a glowy and shiny look, it's better to use setting spray instead of setting powder. I want to use the Career Online setting spray and spray it on my skin from a distance of 20 centimeters. This Kryolan fixing spray is absolutely amazing. I can honestly say nothing compares to it because it gives your makeup a long-lasting effect and your makeup won't budge at all. And that beautiful shine it gives your skin, I just love it. It's just incredible, truly incredible. Now I just really want to use a little bit of this amazing MAC Skin Finish powder right under my eyes, just to effectively mattify that specific area a bit and completely take away any unwanted shine. I'm just going to touch up the contour on my nose a little bit. Of course, I use a dry powder and a cream brown shade to touch up my contour, so my nose looks more defined and slimmer. Since I really want my skin tone to be a beautiful honey beige color, I'm definitely going to use a bronzer. I'm using the Estee Lauder bronzer. I genuinely want to use it, and I also want to touch up my facial contour a little bit with it, you know? Okay, I'm done with my skin prep. Now I have a beautiful glowing complexion. Now I want to move on to the eyeshadow part. I'm applying just a tiny bit of concealer on my eyelids just to create some grip so I can work with my eyeshadow on my lids. A lot of you make the mistake of applying too much concealer on your eyelids, which is completely wrong, and over time it makes your eyeshadow look patchy, messy, and causes a lot of creasing on your lids. But if you just use a small amount of concealer and apply it with a brush, nothing will happen to your eyeshadow. It will stay perfectly in place and won't crease at all. Now, I start by using a micro blender to remove the excess concealer from my eyelids. With a large, fluffy blending brush, I'm currently using the excellent Fair & Cosmetic brush, which I highly recommend. It's number 57, and I want to use the Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. I'm using the shade Karma. And I will start by gently applying this beautiful eyeshadow directly to my entire eyelid. Now I'm going to make my brush a bit smaller, and I want to use the Morphe eyeshadow. I'm using the shade Rush from the Morphe palette. Now I'm going to use an even smaller brush. The closer we get to the inside of the eye, the smaller our brush should be so we can control the shadows better. I want to use a dark brick color. I'm using the Morph palette so I can define the crease of my eye. Now using a cream color, I don't want it to be white, just a cream color. I'm going to set the cut crease area with powder. I'm using the Huda Beauty eyeshadow. Now I'm using the brown shade from the Morphe palette, and for the outer corner of my eye, to give it a lifted and elongated look, I'm using a dark brown color. To tone down the brightness in front of my eyes from being too bright, I use a bit of my brick color from the Morph palette and add a touch of warmth to it. To carefully draw my eyeliner, I specifically want to use a very fine 000 brush and the intensely black pigment from the Vibrant Colored palette. You can, of course, use various gel eyeliners or any other type of eyeliner product that you personally prefer. How is it? Do you like it? I've fallen in love with it. Look at the difference between this eye and my other eye. It's really good. Let me tell you a tip. If your eyes are set far apart and there's a lot of space between them, you can draw your eyeliner in a sharp cat eye style towards the inner corner. But if your eyes are close together or normal, there's no need to do this, and you can do it like I did. Curve it and bring it back into your eye. Another important tip for drawing your eyeliner: if there isn't much space between your eyelid and your eyebrow and your eyelid is quite short, when you want to apply eyeliner on your upper lid, make it very thin and draw it right at the base of your lashes. Never make the eyeliner on your upper lid thick because it will make your eyelid look even shorter and ruin your look. Okay, I want to use an eyelash curler to give my lashes a bit of shape because my lashes are straight and point downward. And then I'll use the Romance mascara. When choosing a mascara, try to pick one that isn't too plastic-like but also doesn't smudge and run as soon as your eyes water. It should clump together a bit like a filter effect and gather up like that. But it shouldn't be plastic-like because plastic mascaras can damage your lashes. And waterproof mascaras actually can kind of cause your lashes to fall out, because when you try to wash it off, you end up rubbing so much it doesn't come off and comes out with your lashes. So try to use a mascara that isn't too plastic-like. I mean something more balanced. This mascara is amazing. Romance is one of the best mascaras out there. You can see its green color has made my lashes look completely long and extended, giving them a cat eye effect. And it's waterproof but not plasticky. That means when I wash it off with water, it just comes off in little clumps and flakes, but it never smudges at all and comes off my lashes easily. For under my eyes, for my lower eyelid, I apply a little bit of apricot color so that my eyes look a bit more attractive and not cold or lifeless. So with a small brush, I apply some apricot color under my eyes. Okay, my eye makeup is done. If you like, you can put on false eyelashes, but I prefer to just keep my own lashes. I want it to look natural because I have a party tonight and I want to show up with a Kim Kardashian inspired makeup look and really show off. Let's move on to the final step, which is our lipstick. In the makeup look Kim Kardashian did, her lipstick is a honey beige shade, and I absolutely love this color. I want to use the My Makeup Pigment palette, which has exactly this shade. I'm going to take this color and apply it all over my lips, but before that, I want to use a lip liner. With a brown lip liner that's almost the same color as my lips, I lightly outline my lips the way I want. I want to use the Artista Brown pencil. It turned out amazing. I fell in love with it. I love this lipstick color. It's perfect for bronze makeup looks, and I'm sure with this makeup we'll shine at any event. To make it look a bit prettier and glossier, I want to use a lip gloss. The lip gloss I'm using is from the Inlay brand. It's amazing and has really good staying power. How did it turn out? I fell in love with it myself. I hope you like it too. My beautiful girl, please subscribe to the channel, like this post, and let me know in the comments which celebrity's makeup you'd like me to teach next. Love you all. Bye-bye.